Yeah, there's another question that's been coming up, and I almost hesitate to ask because there's so much attention being paid to the way women look on screen and their body types, and it can be unfair. But there have been some questions about whether or not the waist on Lily James was somehow CGI enhanced to make it look smaller.
No, it
Any
wasn't.
CGI or just
No,
corset or what's
plenty
going
of
on?
CGI, but in that case, a liquid diet for a healthy girl who stayed sane during, didn't starve herself, didn't do anything inappropriate, but did get into these carefully sculpted corsets, which really were sculptures by Sandy Powell, because we all agreed that that would be a beautiful way of presenting this particular image. It doesn't try and say, we certainly don't try and say that's the way to be. She's a healthy woman who did this thing for this show, but the truth is, we didn't adjust it.
Right. And I'm just curious about the ballroom dance scenes. I thought those were so beautiful. How difficult were they to choreograph and get all of those moving parts where they needed to be? And your actors can dance.
They can, and they danced as they rode horses, and as they danced. Which, of course, the goal being that it looks effortless, and I think it does from them. And yet, it still has that human quality. So we also wanted to embrace a little imperfection, and we wanted the human quality that had the audience know it absolutely was them. And each time we shot it, we did the whole sequence, and we move cameras and get involved in different ways like that. It meant a lot of preparation, step by step, find the tune, be happy with the tune on a single piano, and then we expand it out, and then we play it to the boys and girls, and do they like it, then to the choreographer. This is months and months and months ahead, and then just start from the center and finding the drama of that, because I knew that the ballroom sequence was as big and important as all these hundreds of extras, this lushness, this kind of sumptuous kind of immersion that we wanted to give them, but also equally important was just boy meets girl, looks into her eyes, puts his hand on the small of her back, and suddenly the little blue touch paper is lit on this connection.
They're all looking at you.
Believe me, they're all looking at you.
And then we really wanted to see them have fun, and they play that. I mean, it sounds like, well, that's just the easy bit, they just dance. But they played just that sort of endorphin, elevation kind of thrill that dancing gives you with such joy, so that in a way, in a compressed way, that's a challenge in fairy tales or love stories, full stop. Oh, how did they fall in love so quickly? Well, I don't know, it's a pretty intense connection.
Yes.
2.5 minutes of that's very lovely, and you're always, because that's the way you do it, you look into the other person's eyes. I mean,
that's it. Was that Lily James on the horse all the way?
Yes, it was.
Even in the galloping bareback?
Oh yeah, couldn't get her off it.
Incredible.
Couldn't get her off it. She wouldn't have it. That was interesting. You're asking about sort of Cinderella's, power and all the rest of it. And in that sense, Lily James was absolutely a powerful individual who literally got very antsy when we'd say, well, it's lunchtime and we get so wide. She wasn't having any of that, and she's right. It's about body language. It's about what you do, and and you'll still see it, you'll smell it, and from 100 yards. And weirdly enough, when we came to do the ball sequence, we began the first few days, and everybody was entering the ball, and the orchestra was starting up and everything. And Lily had a cold and wasn't that. I mean, she was literally late for the ball. So as Cinderella would be, so on the evening, the second night, I rang and said, Lils, I know you're not feeling well, but with this talk, there's trillions and trillions of dollars. I got to shoot something with Cinderella. So I said, I'm going to be really wide. I'm going to be 1,000 miles away, and I just want you to be better. And there'll be somebody who comes in. She said, I'll be there first thing in the morning. No one's wearing that blue dress.